going on? Got a more reflective video. This one, kind of taking inventory while I'm outside chilling, getting some fresh air. Just sitting here thinking, like what's exactly going on with everyone, not just me. I don't want to take what's going on with me and have it blind me for what's truly going on. My situation, whether my situation was happening or not, the world's gonna keep spinning. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of small. I mean, less than 1% of what's truly going on in this world. So many things happening. So I try to read the tea leaves to see what's going on. I can definitely tell, like, especially in America, but all over the world, that there's definitely a storm coming, for sure. There's definitely a storm coming because there are just people. This is how people are animals. All the animals are acting. A lot of skittishness, a lot of people in fear. People just are doing things that if things were better and they're in better situations and and they were more, I guess, people have more optimism. I should say. Then they probably wouldn't be doing these things, saying these things. Their actions will be completely different. I think everyone can kind of tell that there's definitely something coming for all of us, especially soon, I think. So I saw someone say that, like, Mars and Earth and Jupiter or something like that are it's going to be in alignment next month in July, and there's going to be a lot of changes going on, a lot of radical changes. I can definitely see it, like zooming out, like taking my situation out of it. I can definitely see there's definitely going to be something huge happening outside of me, like outside of what's going on with me. I'm just part of it. I think the reason why I picked the month to do what I'm doing is because of that change that is happening. Everything's in alignment always. Just do you see it or not, essentially. Uh, and I'm definitely opening my eyes to see what's truly happening outside of my personal situation or this situation going on around me. Taking inventory of that, there's definitely something huge coming this way, and it's very much needed. Truly, I think the 2020s were very much needed for us humans as a species. Now we definitely need to take inventory of what is really important in our lives and hold those things dear and truly see what we are made of, in the sense we're like the top of the food chain. We don't have too many predators going after us. We kind of are continuously preying on each other and trying to, for lack of a better phrasing, just trying to get the best out of each other, honestly, because we don't have other things going after us and we don't have really too many things that kind of bring us together. We're constantly hunting each other, which I know I'm definitely guilty of that as well. But I know overall the reason why we're doing this because something bigger, something that we've never experienced before is on the horizon. And we're definitely going to need the best of us to lead us and guide us through it. That's kind of what I'm seeing all over the world. That's why so many historic changes are happening, in these past 6 years. There's just so many things that we haven't seen before that are constantly manifesting every single day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of truths are being told. A lot of things are coming to light. A lot of acceptance. People are definitely, even though we are still a very, very emotionally unregulated species of people, especially here in America, we are slowly but surely getting out of that and really starting to thrive. At least the best of us, the ones who are kind of in alignment with what's going on out here. We are definitely living our best lives right now, truly, outside of what society says or what society does. At the end of the day, your blessings are going to come and they were designed for you way before you were even born, you know what I'm saying? So kind of sweating it and trying to force them or bring them to you is like, no, everything that's made for you is made for you and it's going to come to you whether you want it, whenever you want it, it doesn't matter. Your ego, your conscious self has no bearing on what's coming. That's something that I'm noticing. So many people really want who they are and who they think they are, to say, and who they tell themselves that they are, to be something that they're truly not. Because at the end of the day, like I say, we are who we are. We are animals that are biologically wired to do certain things. We all have our archetypes, and we all have things that we were just put on this earth to do, regardless of how, whenever the situation that we're in, wherever the environment that we're in dictates, we are who we are. You can't run from it. So, just kind of being in alignment with that every single day is just going to put you in a more, give you more clarity throughout the world, to where no matter what situation that you're in, you're never going to be overwhelmed. You're never really going to be out of whack. You're just going to kind of let things happen as they may. Let nature run its course as it always does. And it always will. So just seeing what's going on and seeing all the blessings and all the growing pains of this new change, of this new world, of this new way of living. It's very cathartic. I'm very, very thankful to be born in this time, to see this change. I understand why the older generation is doing what they're doing this historic generational crash out that they're doing, because this is scary for them. They've never seen this in their entire life. This is definitely something that they were not prepared for. So I can understand why they're acting the way that they're acting, and why this is happening. So I definitely get what they're doing. That's why I don't take anything what they're doing and now they're acting personal. I appreciate them getting Trump back into office, because that's just nothing but fear on their part. Trying to save a country that was truthfully built by a bunch of incels. You know what I'm saying? They all weren't incels. Washington, he probably was a good dude for his time, I guess, but the rest of those dudes, majority of them, they were just kind of losers, honestly. Couldn't make it where they were, and that's kind of where they came here and try to build something for them. But since they're dudes who don't have any emotion, who can't really pull anything, what they built wasn't really made to last. You know what I'm saying? That's why so much of our laws, our commandments, our amendments don't make a whole lot of sense. They kind of always had to be changed, because they were made by a bunch of bitter, resentful dudes who didn't want to live in line with nature. They kind of wanted to think they can control nature and control what people do and say. They even kind of try to have control over their own children and the women that they had the children with, the people we started the families with. They wanted to control them, because I'm assuming where they came from, they didn't have a whole lot of control, so they try to get that here. And it's been nothing but chaos ever since then. 400 plus years of chaos, and it's just kind of what America is. It was never built to last, honestly. This whole thing is just a psyop, just a mirage. Everything is going back to where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? The Mexicans are going to get the South back. Texas, Arizona, California, all that, they're getting that back. Latinos getting to Florida, the indigenous people, the natives, they're getting all their land back here and in Canada. Everything's going back to the way it is supposed to go back. None of this was built to last. It's very clear, very, very clear. The people who are in charge, they definitely don't know what they're doing. When in accordance to nature, societal wise, they're doing great, but in nature, they're not doing too well. That's why they're, like I said, having this generational crash out, because they don't know what to do. They're constantly in fear. We can all see it. Said in one of my last videos, that we can see the fear. Not only in my personal life, but just in general, we can see the fear. I'm just valid. I would be scared if I was them too. Everything that they ever thought, the world that they thought they existed in, is falling apart right in front of them, all around them. That has to be extremely scary. I can only empathize. The world that I'm part of, and the world that I've been building, and the world that I've been being a part of and trying to build other people, is being manifested right in front of me. So I'm definitely on the other side of that, but I definitely get why they're doing what they're doing. which is the reason why I don't fault anybody. You know, we're all just doing our own, or we're all doing our part in this, and that's why I'm very thankful for my role in it. So I'm so glad that so many people are projecting every single day, all over the place, on the internet, locally, globally. This projection, people are just so fearful, and it shows, and it makes sense. You know, it's a whole lot of radical changes coming. You know, like I said, there is a storm. There is a storm coming for all of us. Storm coming here in Cleveland, but there's also going to be a storm coming for everybody, and it's very much needed. Very much needed, because this can't continue. There's no way it can continue. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it's got to come to an end. All good things must come to an end, as the saying goes, and this is definitely their good thing that's coming to an end. But it's not going to be as bad as people say it's going to be. You know, we're all going to get through it, and make the best of it. That's what I'm doing, and I hope all you guys are doing that too. But yeah, just more thoughts. You know, so I'm thankful for my situation. I'm isolated majority of the day, so I'm stuck with my thoughts. I'm I'm making a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? I made so much good mental progress these last few years, being by myself, isolating myself, being alone with my thoughts, and just feeling what's going on, seeing what's going on, and just not doing too much, not moving too much this way, that way, just allowing things to just come together. And that's pretty much what's going on. So hopefully you guys see the storm. Hopefully you guys are prepared for it. Hopefully you guys are living in accordance to that, because yeah, it's definitely going to be one for the history books, that's for sure. But yeah, keep going, because this is definitely going to be legendary for sure.